This bread pudding is like no other that you've had before. It's got honey, it's got bananas, it's got dates. So much goodness into one bowl, almost like a really hearty porridge. Today on Dine Discover, we are making Yemeni Masoob. And to begin with, we need to get started with some Yemeni bread. It's just a simple flatbread, so don't worry at all. And we're going to be taking our flour. Add in 525 grams of plain flour, along with some melted ghee, a pinch of salt, and roughly 200 ml of water. And then knead in the food processor for about 8 to 10 minutes. And then just get your dough straight onto it, and we'll give it a brief little knead. And then all we want to do is divide this into 10 balls. Stretching it as much as possible. And then with your ghee that you had from earlier, so make sure it's constantly warm, just a small tablespoon. And then literally massage it, and then just fold one side over. And then fold the other side over. And this basically helps to make all the layers. Then you're going to fold one side in and one side over. Then grab your rolling pin and roll out your dough till it's roughly 1 centimeter thick. As soon as it's rolled out, kind of thin enough, not too thin, so you still want to see those layers and get them out when you cooked it. We're going to throw it straight onto our pan, making sure that there's no oil, so it needs to be a really good non-stick pan. Lie it down and wait for one side to completely heat up and begin to crisp. Once they crisp up a little bit, you can add in a little bit more ghee and keep turning. Once you see each side crisping up and turning that lovely golden colour, you'll know it's done. Place them onto a plate and continue with the rest of your dough. So the bread is done, and you really need it to be cold for the next step. So we need to begin by taking some bananas, and we need roughly 3 to 4. Follow that along with your dates, as this kind of came from the Saudi side. Once Masoob got to Saudi, they introduced it with dates, and it's a really, really nice touch. And then for the Yemeni sweetener, we're adding in some honey. And don't worry about how much honey you add in now. If you don't add in enough, later when you're tasting it, you can just add in a bit more. Add in roughly 500 ml of double cream, some ground cinnamon, ground cardamom, and then pop it onto a medium heat. While we're waiting for this to boil, for the bananas and dates to break down, we can get started on our bread. We just need to tear apart our bread and chuck it in a food processor. And then you can just throw in your breadcrumbs. And then just stir the breadcrumbs all the way through until they're totally covered. Turn on your heat briefly, and all the breadcrumbs should have been completely covered. The mixture should still look super creamy, but just with that added texture of the bread. Take your serving dish. You can get decorating. So for the decoration, you can go completely wild. I like to really jazz it up with some fruits and nuts, and especially some caramelized bananas. We need them as hard as possible for this. And you just want to cut them up, but on a diagonal. Add your banana slices to some melted butter. Cook them for a few minutes on each side until they're nice and caramelized. Bananas are caramelized, and we can literally get plating it all up. Feel free to kind of layer it on however you want. Try and impress your guests. I have some toasted cashews here. Sprinkle on some golden raisins, some pomegranates. The little Yemeni touch of nigella seeds. And if we didn't have enough sugar already, a little bit more honey to drizzle over. And there you have it, one hearty, pretty Yemeni Masoob. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, tell all your friends and family about this, and if you do make the masoob, please don't forget to send in a picture. We'd love to see your creations.